He stands before the world not as a grieving father, but as a man whose record is written in cruelty. Years ago, Jake Haro abused a child. The system failed to hold him. He walked free, untouched by the punishment he deserved. Maybe he thought luck would protect him again. Maybe he believed silence would bury his crimes forever. But not this time. Not after baby Emmanuel. Now, Jake Haro pleads for mercy, as if mercy is something he ever showed. He pleads for understanding, as if Emmanuel's life, silenced too soon, can be excused by words. But Emmanuel had no mercy. He had no second chance. And neither will Jake Haro. Tomorrow, Thursday, September 4th at 8:30 a.m., Department 61, Hall of Justice, Riverside, justice will stand before him. And I will be there not as a silent witness, but as a voice for Emmanuel. But Emmanuel cannot speak. His cries are gone. His story can only be carried forward if you stand too. So I ask you, will you let history repeat itself? Or will you raise your voice? Share this story. Subscribe. Leave your words in the comments. Let the court see that the people demand justice. Do not look away. Because what you are about to hear is how lies, abuse, and years of silence led to the erasure of a child, and why this time justice cannot be denied. They told the world Emmanuel went missing in August, a story written to win sympathy, but the truth was already buried. In July, placards were printed, 7-month-old Emmanuel smiling back at us, while behind the scenes, he was already gone. How do you claim a child disappeared when his face is on paper weeks before he vanished? How do you hide a life stolen so blatantly? The timeline itself begins to unravel, revealing a deception so cruel, so calculated, it's beyond comprehension. This was not an accident. This was not a mistake. A child's life erased, not by chance, but by choice. And the question that lingers is the one that chills the heart. Why would anyone erase Emmanuel? When the lies began, they spread like wildfire. A family painting themselves as victims. A father who once escaped justice, now weaving another story, hoping the world would believe. But every lie leaves a shadow. The dates did not align. The details did not add up. And in the silence of those inconsistencies, the truth began to whisper. Placards prepared in July, a disappearance declared in August, police reports that shifted, neighbors with uneasy memories, each piece of the puzzle refusing to fit because the puzzle itself was broken. And as investigators looked closer, one thing became undeniable. Emmanuel's absence was not a tragedy of chance. It was the result of choices made and secrets buried. But here lies the darker question. What was Jake Haro trying so desperately to hide? Now the same man who once escaped justice dares to plead again. Jake Haro, standing in the shadow of a courtroom, reaching for mercy as if the past can be erased. But this time, the plea rings hollow, because this time, the world is watching. This time, the cries of Emmanuel echo louder than any excuse. Mercy. Where was mercy when Emmanuel's life was cut short? Mercy. Where was compassion when deception was spread? Mercy. Where was humanity when a child was erased from existence? The truth is simple. Mercy is not owed to those who steal it from the innocent. Tomorrow, when he stands before the judge at 8:30 a.m. in Riverside, his words will be weighed against a lifetime of actions. And this time, he cannot escape. The truth is, this is not the first time Jake Haro's name has been tied to cruelty. Years ago, a child was abused. The system had its chance to act, and it failed. He walked away untouched by the punishment he deserved. That escape gave him confidence. Confidence to believe he was untouchable. Confidence to think that the law could be bent, that his past could be erased. But the shadows of yesterday always return. And this time, those shadows carry Emmanuel's name, because a man who escapes justice once will never stop until justice finally catches him. And when investigators dug deeper, they uncovered more than lies. Hidden inside the Haro home were weapons, illegal, dangerous, unfit for any household, let alone one with children. What was a father doing with weapons while raising a child? What purpose did they serve if not to threaten, control, or intimidate? The presence of those weapons is not just a detail, it is a revelation. A picture of a man who built his world on fear, not love. A man who kept power not through kindness, but through force. And now, the same man dares to cry for mercy? But mercy cannot exist in the same house as weapons and lies. Mercy cannot live where innocence was destroyed. And when those weapons were revealed, so too was the truth. This is not a story of misfortune, it is a story of deliberate evil. But what happens tomorrow when all of this is laid bare in the courtroom?
Tomorrow, at 8:30 a.m. in Riverside, the courtroom doors will open, and inside, Jake Haro will face the weight of his own actions. The lies, the abuse, the weapons, the silence. They will all stand against him. I will be there. I will see it with my own eyes, and I will bring the truth back to you. But I cannot do this alone. Emmanuel cannot speak for himself. His cries were silenced. His story can only live if we carry it together. So tell me, where are you watching from tonight? Are you in the United States, Nigeria, the UK, Canada, or somewhere else in the world? Let your location fill the comments so that when justice is spoken in Riverside, it is echoed in every corner of the globe. Because tomorrow is not just about a courtroom. It is about showing that evil cannot hide, no matter where it tries. And as Jake Haro pleads for mercy, we must answer with truth. Emmanuel had no mercy. Emmanuel had no chance to grow, to laugh, to live. Why should the man who stole his life be spared the judgment he earned? This is where you come in. Do not be silent. Share this video. Subscribe right now. Leave your words in the comments so that when I stand in court tomorrow, I carry not only my voice, but the voices of thousands standing for Emmanuel. Because justice is not only the duty of the court, it is the duty of us all. Tomorrow, justice will speak, and when it does, the world will know Emmanuel was not erased. Emmanuel will not be forgotten. The time for mercy is over. The time for justice is now.